Bestanddeel van de meest geavanceerde anti-rimpelcrème van Ola's stimuleert het natuurlijke vernieuwingsproces en laat uw huid er stralend uitzien. En de naam, actieve vernieuwingscrème van Oil of Ola's. Wij bewijzen dat u er jonger uit kunt zien.
Goedenavond, welkom bij de NPS op Nederland 3. Paul is een 12-jarige jongen met ernstige leer- en opvoedingsmoeilijkheden. Met therapie wordt geprobeerd om verbetering in de situatie te brengen. Kijkt u naar Een Moeilijke Jongen.
I'm going to try to behave. I'm going to not shout at my mum, dad and sister. I'm going to try not to smoke and drink. I am not going to steal. I'm going to
Paul is 12 years old, bright and easy to like. Sometimes. Other times he's aggressive and dishonest. In fact, he's well on the way to persistent delinquency. Paul's older sister Lindsay has never been in trouble. His mother Joyce is at home full-time. His father, David, is a plumber. Most days, Paul and his parents push each other to the limit and beyond.
You're not getting took out anywhere, do you?
I'm not bothered!
I've been thinking about you. I've been thinking about
I'm going to have to stay in tonight now through you. I am fed up of bloody staying in.
Don't put that down! You stupid boy! You keep making... Average 1471!
Paul has already been in trouble with the police. His parents struggle to keep him out of further crime. Late last year, they'd almost given up. Away from home, this is the company Paul chooses for himself. Like those out tonight, most of the gang are older than Paul. Some, like him, are expelled from school or play truant. Others use drugs. Some are into crime. It's important to Paul that they accept him. It's become more important than winning the approval of his parents.
I'll give you 5 minutes before. Well, everybody's tired.
But is she coming at 11 o'clock?
Yeah, but it takes you a long time to get organised.
Oh no. I'll get up in about half an hour.
No, you get up now.
No.
Now.
No. Can I have 5 more minutes?
Right, I'll give you 5 and then that's it. I'll be back again.
And then I get dressed, yeah?
Right. I'll keep you to that then. Are you up now? Yeah, Paul. Yeah, but you promised 3 times.
I promise now.
Some of Paul's behaviour would be familiar in most families.
And I want your teeth done.
But this is just the beginning.
Don't forget about me, buddy.
How many weeks fix? 1 or 2?
2. I'll put the sugar on.
Now, when you put the sugar on, only put a little amount.
Day after day, Paul and his mother get locked into relentless conflict over almost everything.
Sit on your chair properly. I'll get the sugar. I'll pass the sugar.
No, I'll get the sugar.
I'll get the sugar.
No! Go on.
Yeah, I want the sugar bowl. That's all I care about. How much sugar you put on it.
No, it's okay to swear.
No, I want to
I've got
see
to
the
like
sugar.
salt in the swear.
Put the sugar on.
Not yet, the swear.
No, you need a dry spoon, don't you?
Oh, sorry. Sorry, I didn't know.
Silly boy, Paul. I don't do that, Paul. You'll have to... No way. He was always up to mischief. He could walk when he was 9 months old, and he used to always be a mischief, but superb baby. Couldn't want for a nice little thing. And then he just sort of, 18 months, he become a monster. He went to bed one night and woke up. Dick different. Like David says that probably he didn't go to bed and wake up a monster. He probably was like that all along, but it sort of showed itself more when he was nearly 2. Isn't that right? But he's always been in mischief. And people probably think that we're to blame and that we haven't, you know, disciplined him. But you want to try living with a child like Paul 24 hours a day. It's so demanding, it just robs you of everything. Robs you of your health, your home life, everything's just totally disrupted. We're not deaf.
I want to play out!
Today, Paul is recovering from an illness, and his mother is worried about him playing out in the cold. She'd rather he came shopping with her.
No, stop it now, you're being stupid.
You are!
No, he doesn't moan. Stop it, Paul.
This is something to wait, Paul.
It becomes a test of Joyce's ability to stick to what she thinks is best.
I want to play out! So can I?
You'll have to see your father.
I won't have to see my father!
You understand why I've got an ear problem, don't you?
I'm not waiting till 6 o'clock just to see if I can mess out or not. I think I deserve a bit of fresh air. Do you think I'm going to think that all the summer's going to happen to me for a little walk up spa?
I'm the adult.
I want to get out. So I'm going.
I'll probably end up falling out with David over this now. He'll say, well, you're not making proper decisions. In my own heart, I don't want him to go out. But I'm not prepared to run through another battle with him.
Where's my Adidas at?
I have no idea.
Will you put things away?
Then it's up to you to look after your own stuff. If you're not happy where I put them, then take responsibility for your own stuff.
Mum!
But I mean, I know I shouldn't let him go out now, I know that. But it'd be a battle, wouldn't he? He already had his coat on and his scarf, so he were going to battle with me, weren't he? And what would have happened? Just another shouting match. And of course, when he was younger, when I first asked for advice, I was told to tell him once. That's it, he's a very intelligent boy. Just tell him once and don't shout. Or I reckon if the Pope lived here, he'd shout if he lived with us. And honestly, I don't know, I honestly believe it must be something medical.
Within 20 minutes, Paul's back, frustrated when his friends weren't there.
Can I go out after tea if I ring Chris up and see if he's coming down?
Ask your dad. If your dad feels it's all right, I'm all right with it.
Dad will say, like the big mum, and then you'll say no, and then I'll not be able to go out.
What?
What do you think, Joyce? Has he to go out?
I asked him to go downtown to get some pyjamas and all that, and he didn't go. So do you not think that he should really have gone out for a little couple of hours like that first, rather than go out playing in the cold? I don't know, David. It's up to you.
I don't know, I can't see a problem, Joyce, for selling these.
Okay then. Half 8.
Half 8, definitely.
Half 8. In.
Half 8?
Yes, Paul. 8:30.
Hey, don't do that when I'm...
Well, why are you being so mean now?
That's not mean, Paul. It's the first time you've been out. It's extremely cold.
Why can't it just be now like all other kids?
All the other kids haven't been off and in bed. You haven't been out.
Dad,
That
but
gives-
half 8!
Yeah.
Half 8, that's the deal. You either take it or leave it.
Oh, that's not fair!
Well, it's up to you. I think that's a pretty good deal, Paul.
Half 8, why can't it just be 9 o'clock?
It's half 8.
Yeah,
I made a decision and
Can't
that's
I
it.
just have that half an hour longer when all my
No.
mates have to be in?
own way, doesn't he?
Indeed.
Mind you, I'm indecisive, aren't I? I said he couldn't go out till you came home. And then I let him out, didn't I? But I'm not prepared to keep going and slagging matches with him all the while. It's no good for him and it's no good for me, is it? So we're not getting nowhere.
Paul's parents worry that he's out of adult control, excluded from school, spending time with the gang, and worse, stealing. Last summer on his 12th birthday, he was arrested for shoplifting and warned by the police.
Things cannot get any worse now. Unless, of course, he started stealing cars and doing robberies.
His attitude towards his mother and the spasms of violence, of jumping on her and his sister worries us, because if he went out and ended up going stealing or something, that mouse breaking in the future, if he has these spasms of violence and all that, obviously there was fears that would lead to a tragedy.
Paul's parents knew they needed help. They thought Paul must be ill and agreed to let a leading American specialist in delinquency analyse the problem. Dr. Don Gordon soon identified a disorder, not in Paul's mind, but in the family as a whole.
I don't think his behavior has a medical reason behind it. The problem that increases Paul's risk now is that he's willing to put up with a lot of parental disapproval, a lot of yelling and the parents telling him how distressed they are and being very clear how disappointed they are and how angry they are with him. Losing their approval is no longer a threat to him. And so I think he's at much greater risk for turning to a deviant peer group to get their approval.
Dr. Gordon saw a familiar pattern in Paul's delinquency. His shoplifting could be linked to events at home.
I'll go!
Money is a recurring point of conflict between Paul and his parents.
No! I want £1.40. Please. Mum, Dad will pay you back. What's so wrong if you're going to get it back an hour later?
Am I stood next to you or am I stood over in that field?
Mum!
Where am I stood?
There! You know where you stood next to the fire in your house?
In your house.
Can I have a pound? Because Lindsay's giving me 50.
Paul gets £1 pocket money a day, but there are frequent fights for more. Money he wants to go out and spend with the gang.
Oh, just sit still 10 minutes.
I want to go out.
Like a racehorse waiting to go, isn't it?
I'm not giving you money, Paul, but I don't mind buying you stuff.
Well, why can't Lindsay
Because you
give me
blow it on
me?
things that I don't agree with.
Why don't you agree on two
Now
daily
stop it.
tips and
Now
a
listen,
chemical?
you are hurting my ears now.
No, I'm not.
Yes, you are.
No, I'm
And I'm
not.
getting annoyed at that point.
I am.
This level of yelling and screaming started off with probably a long time ago with him, his mom wanting him to do something and didn't do it, and so she raised her voice real loud, and then he did it. And she found out, oh, it works. If I raise my voice and yell at him, he complies. So she unwittingly got trained to yell at him to get what she wants, and then being a parent and a role model, he would mimic that. If he's yelled at, he'll try the same thing.
Paul battles instead of accepting something. He said that he wanted from Monday to Friday £1 per night. So I agreed. You see, Paul will not just accept, oh, I've got my £1, put it in his pocket and just go off and play. He always wants something more. And he's always been like that. And he'll go on and on and on.
Paul not only demands money from his family, he steals it. At home, they're so used to this that they check every day whether any more money has gone missing.
I don't think he's been in the pantry, has he, Lindsay?
He's been upstairs though. Because he went up for something, didn't he? Let's go and check my purse.
Go
I've
check
about
your
£2
purse.
in it. No, it's still there.
And Paul has found ways to manipulate his family to stop them interrupting his opportunities to steal.
Where did you find them?
Just I found them, right? Just leave me alone. Can't I be in peace for a minute?
Sorry.
No one in this family ever leaves me alone. Just, can you just leave me alone? God! Ah!
Caught on our fixed camera overhead, Paul makes for his sister's room.
What did he say, Lens?
Don't tell them.
Between Paul and his family, money can create long dramas of confrontation. Paul knows how to stage them. He's just confided to his sister that he's got £3 saved up and hidden in a cushion.
Will you tell her not to tell you?
And he's told her to keep it secret, because their mother will assume the money must be stolen.
Lindsay! Lindsay! No! No! No!
Go and find yourself something.
No! No! Lindsay, don't tell her.
I'm going to find out anyway.
I've been shaved £1.
You've got £3 in a cushion, but it's been saved in his
Is
pants.
that why the cushion were undone?
Yeah.
It's been saved in
He can't save Lindsay, he can't save a penny.
That's what he
Nicks to make
says.
his money up.
It's been saved in it.
You can't save because you need more than £1 a night.
No, I don't.
You won't get done if you tell me where you've had the money.
I haven't done given anywhere.
I promise you won't get done.
No!
I want to know where you've
No, I haven't done it!
It's as if Paul knows he can rely on his mother to play her part in sustaining the drama.
Is it
No!
in the cushion?
No!
Is it?
Just wait. Just wait till she comes back now. Just wait. Wait. Stop it, Paul. Promise, I promise you. Right, you will get done now because I don't know where it's from. Have you stolen any out of my purse, Paul?
No, you can check your purse, ain't stolen
I
it.
don't know where it is, it must be another handbag.
I'll show you where it is then.
You'll show me where my purse is?
No, I'll show you where my money is.
Alright, show me where your money is. Can you say,
No,
show me
I
where
don't
my
want it.
Come on then.
No, no, it's mine. It's mine. Look, I'll show you. Pound on Friday. Pound on Friday. Yeah? Pound on Thursday. Pound what I found. No! No! Yeah. No. Oi.
What are you giving me spots in front of my eyes?
Who gave me my money?
Tell me where you've got. Hey, no, don't touch that iron. Just tell me where you've got it from, Paul.
Daddy, I saved it.
If it was your money, I wouldn't take your
You've got
money.
to give it me.
But listen, mind
If you
your
don't
body.
give it me, I'll just go and get yours out of your purse then.
I think it's a habit that they're both into, and that Mom's into the habit of constantly trying to reason with him and trying to talk him out of what he wants, and he's in the habit of insisting and being demanding and yelling at Mom, and so that it escalates. And I think part of the payoff for him is the contact with his mom. He likes the contact, and by doing this, she unwittingly gives him the contact.
Please let me have it.
I might let you have it if you can tell me.
I
but
told you.
You can't save, Paul, because listen, how can you save when you steal?
Mum, I can save. Check your purse then.
I don't know how much I got. I don't.
You'll notice if 3 quid's gone missing.
Come on downstairs.
No! I want my money.
From her point of view, this is a negative interaction. It's unpleasant. From his point of view, it's not. It's pleasant.
I want my money!
Well, you just tell me how you've acquired
I
it.
never wanted it like I told you!
Shouting to him is something that he does that gets her to be more intense and to keep the interaction going.
I'll let you make me a cup of tea.
I don't think he's distressed when he's shouting. I think it's something that he's learned to do that has a payoff that he values, which is more contact with Mom and intensity from Mom.
Oh, I'll make you that.
2 weeks into our filming, Paul's stealing from his family became much more serious. He stole £60 from his mother.
Can't believe it, can you?
And a 10 with that one, man. Out
Yeah,
with wallets
stole
as
50
well.
a man and 10 a day. Oh, God, it's wonder didn't get picked up. I pinged him up. I said, you've stolen my money, haven't you? No, no, no. Your man's like that. Anyway, I said, right. And when I put my hands in his pocket, he'd got £5. I said, no, get in that car. So we brought him back then he swore he knew nothing about it, didn't he? Then he brought it downstairs with £10 missing. So we had to go through an hour for it. After an hour, I said, realise this, Paul. I'd save that for Christmas presents. I said, you've robbed yourself, boy. You've robbed yourself.
This latest theft brings Paul's tally of money stolen from his family to £600.
All the money stolen. It's like it don't register in my head that he'll take it. Do you know what I mean? I truly believe in him that he won't do it again. And then he just does it. I'm beginning to think he has no conscience whatsoever. He's not, I don't know. There isn't an element of doubt in my mind now whether the boy is bad.
He can go, he's of the opinion they can just take what he wants, when he wants, do what he wants, when he wants.
But David, he gets punished for it. Does it not enter into his head that he's going to get caught and get punished?
He doesn't get punished, does he?
He gets kept in, doesn't he?
In fact, this time Paul has been sent out of the house. His father has had enough and comes to bring him back home.
What?
If you don't know why you're doing this, there must be something not quite right up there, you know, you must be a lettuce short of the bloody salad or something. Something's drastically wrong upstairs, isn't it? Eh?
You're not for real anyway.
Do you not realise where you're going to end up if you carry on like that? Eh?
Yeah.
Where?
Prison.
So is that where you want to go?
No.
So why are you doing it then? Because that's where you'll end up. It's as sure as houses are houses.
You reckon our lives? You're making me ill, Paul. I am ill with it. You have made me ill with it. By the look in your eyes and the look in your face, I don't think you give a damn what I'm saying. I'm wasting my breath. Aren't I? Be honest. Just say, look, Mum, shut your gob. You're wasting your breath. Because I have no intentions of ever pulling myself together. Do you know, for 2 pence I could get up and smack you straight in the teeth.
Yeah, go up to your room, Paul.
Get a shower, hair wash. You 5 minutes. Strip, shower, hair wash. Those clothes in the wash basket, please.
And then bed.
What about his tea?
Forget his tea. He wants his tea, should come in on time. Obviously he's not hungry.
Because it's so hot.
Gets hot quite really fast.
I'm sure he's confused about whether or not this is punishment, or is there going to be any punishment. And they had the right idea, I guess, in sending him off to get him away from attention, but then they didn't follow through. Perhaps, like a lot of parents, she thinks after she's been disappointed and hurt that if she can demonstrate to the child how much she loves him, then he won't disappoint her and hurt her again. But that's not, I don't think that's the way Paul looks at it.
Shouldn't he pour it?
Go and help yourself to a jam tart and put it on a plate.
I don't like jam tarts.
He knows his mother loves him and his father loves him. But what he needs is some predictable consequences. He needs to know what's going to happen when he misbehaves.
Nothing to get out of bed for, is there? Knowing what you have to battle with for the rest of the day.
What would happen if you just stopped battling?
I couldn't stop battling because I love Paul. And he'd just do what he wanted, wouldn't he? He'd rob and just steal. And I don't want to stop battling. I won't stop battling until he gets back to being a normal boy. Happen I'm battling the wrong road, I don't know. Happen we're doing it all wrong, I really don't know, but I'm not giving up. I'm fed up.
If his parents don't sort of turn things around and getting him more interested in earning and keeping their approval, I think it's pretty serious that he will become more actively involved in crime. For instance, I would expect him to engage in more stealing outside the home in addition to a few minor things outside the home. He might engage in more shoplifting, maybe eventually with a deviant peer group, breaking and entering to steal, potentially even to robbery of a person. But this progression usually starts out with stealing at home, stealing outside the home, shoplifting, and they often progress into breaking and entering.
So you say it's good to sort of stand back and sort of take it in for a while.
Right.
Which we haven't done.
Have a chance to think it over and talk.
The technique Dr. Gordon uses has had dramatic success in America, even with hardened delinquents. It has so far not been used in Britain. Paul and his family agreed to try it out.
He needs a lot of attention.
He always has.
And he gets bored.
As the first people to try it in Britain, Paul's family will work through a dozen sessions with one of Dr. Gordon's therapists, Cindy Howell.
This is one way that you can...
Her first priority is to stop them screaming every day.
...for doing this, so I printed this out and we'll talk about...
Instead, they learn active listening, expressing their feelings calmly and showing each other that they are being heard.
I can't stand it when I come home from work and all the chores aren't done.
You can't stand it? You know what you can do, don't you?
What's
No,
another...
sensibly.
That's it. What's he feeling? What's the feeling?
Sweat. You can't stand it? I'm sorry. What would you want me to do?
No, what am I feeling? I've said I feel upset and...
Oh, you're feeling fed up, are you?
I'm fed up.
You feel disappointed, do you?
Yeah.
Can I do one?
Yeah.
Why does every little thing have to become a major battle?
It doesn't have to become a major battle.
She don't
That's my
understand.
answer back. That's my answer
No,
back.
Mum! You have to play the game.
I'm really worried about all the stealing that you've been doing, and I don't understand, Paul, why you're doing it.
So you feeling mad about this?
Rather upset more than that.
Dad!
He can tell you what he's feeling.
I don't want to play this game.
No, that's it. It's a bit too near the core, really, hasn't it?
So how is it your dad's feeling?
Why are you looking at me like
Well, that's
that?
what you have to do, is to make eye contact. We are having a conversation between one another.
I don't want to talk about it.
Why don't you want to talk about it?
Because I don't know.
Why don't you like the subject?
No.
Sorry, I can't hear you.
No.
Come on, Paul.
I don't want to do it.
Well, I don't want to do it. You're just showing everybody. You're showing it yourself up, didn't you show it us?
Are you coming out?
No, someone when you tell
No, I don't want to see about that.
By the start of the next session, 2 days later, Paul's resistance has become more active.
I was sat there.
It doesn't get easier. The therapist prompts the family to talk openly about some of the things they find most sensitive.
Talk about a time when you found out that someone lied to you. That was you, Paul.
When?
Well, on numerous occasions.
When?
Can you think of one and talk?
Yeah, like when you stole that money out of your mother's purse, and then you told me, or specifically that you hadn't touched it, and I asked you on quite a lot of occasions.
When?
That £3.
Yeah, don't bring all that back because I don't like it.
Can I hear you listening to him?
Yeah, just listen to them.
Huh? I saw you making eye contact and you asked a question. That was good. What else can you do to let him know you're listening?
So you don't like me lying to you?
No.
Okay, I'll stop it.
Good guessing at the feeling. Excellent.
Within a fortnight, after further sessions, there's an encouraging sign. Paul has discovered a large sum of money his mother had hidden away.
I gave myself a microwave today.
This time, he hasn't taken it.
You don't have to hide your money, you know.
Oh, you have to do because you nick it, don't you?
Yeah, but it's not where everything is.
Where is it?
In shoe.
What shoe?
The shoe on top of the thing, but I won't take it. You don't have to hide it.
How do you know it was there?
Because I know what a piece of paper is, don't I? And I know a piece of paper is like that.
You haven't nicked any, have you?
I'll check it now.
It's as if Paul has felt for the first time the way his parents are upset by his stealing.
I won't take any.
What did you do?
I found £100.
You found £100? You didn't really.
It
You
really
didn't find it. Wasn't
there.
lost.
There was money. You knew where the money was and you didn't take it. Yeah? Great. So you made a good choice and things worked out pretty smoothly. I'm glad to hear that.
Well, I didn't take any of it.
So you want it?
Good for it.
But this is only a limited breakthrough. There's still a problem with Paul stealing small amounts.
What are you up to?
Paul whispers to his sister that he's taking £1.30 from his mother's handbag. But on this occasion, Lindsay persuades him to put it back.
Can I see the list and all?
Session 6, and the therapist introduces a points system to reward Paul's good behaviour.
Copy this, Mike.
At first, it seems to go down well.
What do you think you have to do now then, Paul?
In morning, get up, get dressed, eat my breakfast, brush my teeth, get my bag sorted out at the bottom of the stairs.
So basically, you don't have to do anything. It's just easy, Pete. It's just
normal behaviour, what you
routine,
do.
and it's just normal.
Well, then I'll do it!
And you sound really happy about it too.
Together,
Okay.
up at 7-ish.
As the detail of the points system sinks in, Paul realises that he'll now have to start earning points to go out and see his friends.
Well, that's 4 points, doesn't it?
I don't want to get points to go to my friends. That's not fair.
Can
And
I
it ain't funny.
can I talk to you for just a second, Paul?
No.
Okay. It's not. If you've done something that you're in so much trouble for that you're grounded, you're not going to get to go to Chris's, right?
I don't want to do that about Chris's.
I know. Just listen. Can you listen to me for just a minute?
Yeah.
You're really good at the active listening. I know you can do this. Okay. If you've done so much stuff that you're in trouble enough to be grounded, you're not going to get to go to Chris's, right? Yes or no?
Yeah.
Yes.
If I get grounded, I'm not allowed to go to Chris's. But I
Right.
won't get grounded because I'm not doing all bad, am I?
Right. So if you're going to be doing everything that you're supposed to, you're going to get
I
enough
don't
points.
want to do the
to go to
bad to go on
Chris's.
Chris's.
How
Paul
about?
wants to carry on being an idiot, misbehaving.
Yeah.
There's not a lot you can do. You just said, no, I don't want to take part in the point system.
It's 12 o'clock.
Oh, I could smack you when you say that, Paul. You know, you'll not get better unless you learn to help yourself. Do you intend to help yourself?
I see that as the first lesson. I see that as point one. As a starting gate myself. You've got to... Paul, you're not listening now, are you?
Yeah.
You know...
You have shown no interest in this whatsoever.
It's all for
None.
you.
You have just sat there, you've fidgeted, played with the £5 note, you've been looking outside.
Do you want to get right or not?
Yeah. But
Right.
this ain't working, is
We
it?
haven't given it a chance.
Every time I ask a question, you keep going on and wrecking it.
The family starts the point system anyway. After 3 weeks, there are some good signs.
On my own, I'll get up.
Come on. Come on.
But that's too rough.
Oh, no.
Paul starts getting up on time. He makes his bed
Mom!
and brings down his laundry.
Tip is
Which one?
that one that I got took to school last week.
No. Aren't you a good lad? Just put it in wash basket. Good lad. Hey, I like this new you, Paul.
I want my tip.
Yeah. Just turn the top and put us a little bit on. And then just stick a rat. Don't put a rat lot on. Going along with the family did that fine when necessary. Monday, so he gets full points, doesn't he? 10. He's caused no problems there. Home by tea, it's not tea time. Back in by 9:30. I don't know his plans are. I don't up to 12. No shouting or arguing.
Protesting loudly, Paul does begin to do as he's told.
I know it's Christmas Day, but Christmas Day don't make the fact that other people have to struggle for you. Now go and put it upstairs, please.
Go on, everybody you do.
Yeah, do, Paul.
You don't give anybody a break.
No, I don't, Paul. You're absolutely right. It's your breaks are costing me. Paul, will you hang up your coat? Just leave them all over the top.
Paul does enough to earn the reward for his good behaviour. For Paul's bad behaviour, they now move on to lay down punishments to be known as consequences, which will give Paul a clear and predictable choice in his behaviour.
That's the one thing that we found with consequences is they need to be consistent and carried out and as close to the behavior as possible.
Could you just move them jeans off the floor, Paul? They've been there half an hour and I think...
In a minute.
No, I'd like them to be moved now.
God, just wait, I'm watching a film.
But really, Paul...
God's sake, it's one more for you.
Can I try it? What I would like is when I ask you to do something, I'd like you to do it right away. So, I know you want to finish watching the film. How about I give you 5 more minutes? When I come back, I'd like to see the jeans picked up and put in the hamper where the dirty laundry goes.
Hamper?
I don't know the right word.
Wash basket.
Yeah.
Wash basket. Okay. I'd like to see the dirty jeans in the wash basket when I come back in 5 minutes, okay?
Yeah.
And then you can finish watching your film. If the jeans aren't picked up in 5 minutes, then we're going to turn the film off and you're going to go help me do some ironing. All right?
Yeah.
Thank you. See how that works?
It worked very well for you
Yes.
there.
Theoretically, it should work. Theoretically, it should work.
Among the hardest lessons for Paul's parents is learning to stick to their decisions. Soon, there's a test. Paul wants to stay the night with his friend Chris. His mother has already told him he can't.
Am I allowed to sleep at his house?
No, because he's poorly.
It don't matter, he's only got mum.
Yeah, but he's a bit tall.
He's got an odd cough and he's got
Nobody wants to be poorly at Christmas.
So he's only got a broken hand and an odd cough.
Yeah, but he doesn't
No
look
else
well
can be
at all.
wrong. He's okay.
He doesn't look very
Just come
well.
here.
I don't know. No, Paul, because Chris isn't well. He needs to be in
Come
his
here,
own
Chris.
bed.
You need to be in your own bed.
He knows so.
Look.
He's not well, are you?
Please, Mum.
Oh, I've made my decision. I've told you.
That is vault time.
I know, well.
Oh. God, come on. Please, Mum.
Paul, I've told you.
Right then, you're not having a Christmas cake. He's not gonna get that. He's not gonna get ill.
Look, Paul, there's one good reason why I won't let Chris sleep.
Wow, wow.
Because he's got an infection, probably, by the looking at him, and Lindsay's got a bad heart.
Why can't I sleep at his house then?
Because he's got an infection.
He
and
hasn't got an infection.
Paul, the child looks ill.
Mum, he isn't ill. He looks like that all the time.
No, he does not.
Chris, stand up and do something to make sure that he looks like you're not ill. Please, Mum. I'll do anything. I'll tell you everything.
Tell me what? No, nothing.
Anything you ask, I'll be good. I'll never.
Where's that tape? That's what we want to know.
I've sold it. I've admitted that.
I say Chris can't stay because I think Chris should be in his own home. He looks ill.
Doesn't he look ill?
Yeah.
That's what your mother says, that's what your mother says.
Please, Mum.
You're too much for me today.
Please.
There's only one answer to this.
What?
Give in.
No, I'm not doing it. That's what I did before, and that's why he's like he is.
Please, Mum.
As the final therapy sessions approach, Paul is stealing much less often, but still stealing. Lindsay has just discovered that he has again taken £2.
Please, can I have the £2 back?
What are you doing stealing off Lindsay again? Do you never learn?
Has he took... Lindsay, has he took some money off?
Took £2, but I've got it back.
When did he take it?
I don't know, when he was messing with his money, I had this feeling, and when I went upstairs, £2 and
Just? Did you have the feeling just?
Yeah, that's how I went to check my purse.
I don't. Close the door and sit down.
No.
Yes, you get consequences for that. That's what the programme's all about. Consequences.
What do I get?
Paul, will you stop banging the bloody door and sit down?
And you're mental going like that.
No danger, police.
Paul has returned most of the money, but his mother now insists on getting every penny.
Paul owes you 3 pence.
No, he doesn't. Paul won't leave the house till I get my money.
Paul, no, because I've just swept it.
I don't believe this, you bunch of scrubbers. It's only 3p.
It's a
principle.
Principles that I only am down to 7, and I need another 3 pence to make a pound.
No. Here, here's a 3 pence.
Eventually, Paul repaid it all. In fact, this was to be one of the last times he was caught stealing.
Yeah, that's
Shush!
Then, a few days later, another sign of progress.
No shouting and arguing. Yeah, he's been all right today. He's going to be fine.
Joyce doesn't want Paul to go on wrestling with his father.
Right, Paul, calm down now.
That's right.
She could set off another row. Instead, the family sets a time limit.
5 minutes and then I'll go upstairs, fall asleep on my bed watching a film, and then you'll wake me up and I won't be act up because I had a fight with him yesterday at tea time.
No, play 3 games of chess with you now to calm you down.
Can we just have 2 more minutes fighting?
7 o'clock. When it dongs 7, that's it. The game's finished.
Dong! 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 Ah!
Just finish it, move time!
And when time's up, they do stop.
How can you never eat at 7 o'clock?
You just call the hospital, please. So you broke your foot out.
The family has been warned to expect setbacks, and they get them. With the therapy in its final week, one day starts particularly badly. Joyce is blaming her daughter for not standing up to Paul.
And Auntie Margaret's told you, Lindsay, will you stop doing things for Paul? She had a word with you in the kitchen. She said he's getting worse, he's going backwards. We're going to be, do you know our life's going to be within these four walls? Don't you understand that? The more you do... Mom! Get you, Lou. You ever shout like that again, you could have killed her.
It's left. I said left dinner.
Will you stop telling me, shut up? Will you stop calling me a stupid bitch? And wait till Dad finds you kick me in my leg. The bloody programme can go to hell for all I care. You're an horrible little shit. You're a brat. And that's what you are.
When did I kick him in the leg?
You're a bloody brat.
I'm not shocked that what I did.
You're not going to get better. How can you get better? It's like asking Jack the frigging Ripper to get better. Or the bloody Mad Axeman. You're a nutter lad. You're just a selfish sod. We've had a bad day today.
Yeah. So that makes it hard to remember the good stuff that's going on.
Yeah, you might have an odd bad day every 5th day or something.
Is that
Instead
better than
of-
it was before?
Oh God, we had a bad day every day of his life from getting out of bed.
It's always easier to remember the tough times. Because those are the ones that are, you know, still causing your head to throb.
Yeah.
But don't sell yourself short either. I think you're doing a lot of things really well.
It's definitely improving. It is better because it's finished as a stealing.
Stealing good. Okay. Good.
He hasn't stolen over Christmas at all, as far as we know. We haven't missed anything. So hopefully that's a sign in the direction I've talked to him about stealing.
After a dozen sessions of therapy, the family are left to fend for themselves. Paul's parents have learned how to stop rows getting out of hand and to insist quietly on his obedience.
That's these two.
Excuse me. I'd appreciate it if you didn't shout because it does my ears.
Well, Auntie
And
said.
I lose.
Auntie said.
I lose all thing of what's going on when you shout because it just upsets me head.
And I said to him, Dad, you'll fix it. As he said to me, I will get that back sorted
He said
out
he'd
now.
help you, yeah.
My
Don't
headphones.
do that to that. That's, excuse me, let go please. That might have something important on those other pages. Right, go on.
Take the pen off him and everybody else will
Can I have the pen please? Paul.
I want to draw all of it, Setty.
Thank you.
I ain't got it.
Just pass it please.
You are beginning to test my patience.
Will you just get up and pass me the pen please?
It's on the floor.
Don't sort of behave yourself. You'll be spending the rest of the day in your room.
Paul, can I have the pen in my hand please? As I handed it to you, put,
Where
There,
is
it's on the
it?
floor where you threw it.
I-
Well, it's right next to you.
put the pen in my hand.
God!
Thank you very much. Thank you. Right, carry on. But he's learning already. Typical example around Winfields last week when he said to Chris, let my mum, Luke, now put these, I were amazed that these words come out of Paul's mouth. He said, let my mum look at the skirts, because she buys me, my dad and Lindsay all the while, and she never buys nothing for herself. And he never, that's exactly his words, and he never put no pressure on me to go for big trainers or anything. And normally I'd have been a mental wreck in Winfields because he'd have put pressure on me, wanted this, he wanted that, then he'd have legged it off, then I wouldn't have known where he was, then I wouldn't have known where I was myself.
What
And
else he'd have stole?
Or he just stole. And then I've got to get out that store then and get that thing back, do you know what I mean? And that's how we lived our life. Well, it was a total pleasure. I even offered to take him again tomorrow afternoon, that's how good it was. Because something's clicking in his little head.
But little bits
He
rub
wants-
off, don't they? Little bits of things like Joyce said, you are trying little bits. You can't put the whole thing, but you are putting little bits in.
And I totally agree with this approach of how Cindy handles it by throwing it back at that person, because it does definitely diffuse a row. You know, how can you row with somebody when they've chucked it back at you?
What do you say chucked it back at you?
Well,
you're answering a question.
You're answering a question with a question. I want £10.
So you want.
So instead of saying, get lost, you know, I mean, £10 off me, which 99% of parents that say, want they get lost, or no way, you're having £10 off me. You say, oh, so you expect me to give you £10?
So you'd like £10, would you?
Would you?
What would you like the £10?
Yeah. So you even though it's like a little game, I think it's doing us good. It's calming us down, I think, don't you?
We were struggling to sort it out.
We'd have probably gone
No,
somewhere else.
there's a lot of positive things happened over the last couple of months. For us and for Paul.
Whereas a loveless child, you know, is Paul. His little heart's in the right place, isn't it?
Yeah, he's not evil. I
He's
don't think
not,
he's ever been evil.
no evilness to him or slyness or two-facedness. There's some excellent points, but because of his behaviour problem, nobody's ever seen his nice points because they only ever seen his bad points.
Only 6 months earlier, Paul seemed to be sliding fast into crime. Are his prospects any different now?
We don't know for certain what exactly one child will do in the future, but when we look at how groups of people have responded who've gotten functional family therapy in the past, they're a lot less likely to reoffend. 1/3 to 1/2 is likely to commit offenses. Right now, he's not stealing. What's made the difference? Part of it is that his parents have become a lot more positive toward him than they used to be. He now thinks that he can earn their approval. And because of that, his delinquent peer group are now less important. If they can keep that positive ratio there, more praise and support than criticism, that'll keep his hopes up and he'll continue to be interested in winning their approval.
I appreciate Paul came in and did as you were told Friday from school. He dumped his clothes, and when I asked him to put them in the wash basket, he did it immediately. I appreciated that of him. He gave me no hassle.
I appreciate he behaved up the golf club, apart from the actual going out to play the golf club.
But I wasn't bad, was I?
No, Mick said you were brilliant.
Yeah, he wasn't able to play golf, so he was a bit bored with that, but his behaviour in the clubhouse was
very acceptable.
Very acceptable, yeah.
We can't say it, can we?
Did you appreciate it? I say I appreciated my dad taking me to the golf club.
Get that gun off his head, Dave.
Go on.
Tess Thomas is een door de Amerikaanse overheid betaalde pleegmoeder. Als de 10 jaar oude Robert bij haar komt, heeft hij alleen een vuilniszak met persoonlijke bezittingen bij zich. Langzaam verliest hij zijn angst en wantrouwen en kan hij zo nu en dan weer even lachen.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Jamil. Happy birthday to you. Come on, man.
Jamil wordt heen en weer geslingerd tussen zijn liefde voor zijn aan drugs verslaafde moeder en zijn verlangen naar de veiligheid van het pleeggezin. Een groot hart. Volgende week maandag rond 7:30 bij de NPS.
Hallo met... Hey ma, hoe is het in Amerika? Nou nee, ik zit een beetje tv te kijken. Ja nee, ik red me wel. Dag.
Stickervoordeelweken bij C1000. C1000, daar hou je geld aan over.
Communism meets consumerism in the handover of Hong Kong, fueling China's desire for advanced consumer goods. Some consumers, however, are already one step ahead.
Nieuw van Rexona. De Powerball met 50% grotere rollen. Beschermd in 1 beweging. De nieuwe Rexona Powerball.
Tijdens de stickervoordeelweken bij C1000... 2 flacons Andrilon verzorgende shampoo met voordeelsticker 7,48... Calvé aardappel anders met voordeelsticker 1,99... en 2 kilo gemengd gehakt met voordeelsticker 10,96.
Simone haalt goede cijfers op school. Maar haar perfectionisme maakt haar erg onzeker. Het liefst zou ze astronaut willen worden, om de wereld waaraan van alles mankeert ver achter zich te laten. Ze trekt zich in haar eigen wereld terug en komt steeds meer alleen te staan. Bij de Icon vanaf morgen het eerste deel van de 12-delige dramaserie Straight Up.
De humanistische omroep met Joy.